Hi everyone, welcome back to Wrestling Fun with Father and Son. I'm Father Matt and this is Son.
Hi.
And this is our AEW's Explosive Elite Review. AEW 12th of the 2nd, 2020. Started off with Kenny Omega and Adam Page defending their titles against SCU. And just before sort of the beginning of this match, there was a little bit of a video from Dark Order that interrupted the beginning. In the end, it was Omega and Page got the win. Not really too shocked, to be honest. They said that the losers of this were going to have a battle royal next week to determine who's going to face Kenny Omega and Adam Page at Revolution in a few weeks. At the end of this match, the Dark Order then came down, attacked SCU because they've had a bit of problems with Christopher Daniels and SCU, only for then the Best Friends to come down, and TH2 came down, and the Young Bucks come down. These are all the teams that are involved in that Battle Royal. They sort of had a big sort of brawl, that sort of thing. There's a little bit of a sort of jokey comedy spot with Orange Cassidy with the Young Bucks doing their little sort of small like shin kick things, and he became an honorary member of the Young Bucks. Quite cool to see. Next we had Sammy Guevara versus Dustin Rhodes. Again, this is a little bit of a take back from Sammy Guevara and the Inner Circle sort of targeting Dustin from a few months ago and sort of breaking his wrist, and he had a cast on, all that sort of stuff, and they keep attacking Dustin Rhodes, and that this is sort of a comeback from this. Dustin Rhodes got the win, and after the match he grabbed the microphone, he challenged who?
Jake Hager.
Yep, Jake Hager to a match and said, "When you finally going to get? Are you finally going to get into this ring? Because we can have a match at Revolution." They didn't really say whether or not they were going to do it at this point, but then later on they did announce that that is actually going to happen at Revolution. So we're going to get his first match. We had an interview with Britt Baker, the Doctor Britt Baker, heel again. The promos are getting a lot better. This one was a quite good one as well. From 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when she had that on the Jericho Cruise, when she did that interview, it was like shockingly bad. And since then she's really worked, and you know, these two promos that she's done back to back have been really well thought out and real conceived. I think she's finally sort of figuring out what her sort of character is now, so they're coming along really well. Then we had Nyla Rose versus Rio for the AEW's Women's World title, I think that's what they call it. It was just a little bit of a shock and upset here because Nyla Rose actually got the victory and beat Riho for the title. So we have a new champion now, Kai. Thought that was going to happen eventually. I didn't think it was going to happen this quick. I thought it was going to be at Revolution or a big pay-per-view. They might change the title, but they did it actually here. Then we had a backstage interview with Jericho in the Inner Circle where he said next week Jon Moxley will face an assassin that he has sort of hired. Whether this person now could become a member of the Inner Circle, they didn't really say, but it was Jeff Cobbs. I'm not really too up on Jeff Cobbs, nor is Kai. All I know is he was like in Ring of Honor, and he's been in Lucha Underground and that sort of thing. Hasn't really touched WWE. That's probably why we don't really know who he is. He's more of like Ring of Honor and that sort of side of the pro wrestling scene. Then we had MJF versus Jungle Boy with Wardlow, and we had Brandy Rhodes on commentary, obviously sort of still adding that Cody story. The match was won by MJF, wasn't it? And then after the match, Wardlow decided to pick up Jungle Boy and attack him, only for then the Jurassic Express to come down and sort of make the save. So I think there's going to be a match there between Luchasaurus and Wardlow at some point in the future, which would be quite interesting. That could be a Revolution one, that one could Kai. And then we get to the main event, which was Satana versus Moxley. Obviously the story of this was both had injuries to their eyes, didn't they, by each other. So the Inner Circle obviously damaged Moxley's eye, and Moxley damaged Santana's eye. Jericho and Sammy Guevara and Jake Hager were up in the VIP box drinking the bubbly as always. Again, not much to the match, to be fair. We had Ortiz at ringside. Moxley got the win with a paradigm shift. So again, it was more of what happened after the match. Santana got in and attacked Moxley. Then the Inner Circle came from the sort of VIP box down the sort of through the crowd, did a devastating attack to Moxley. Then Jericho sort of beckoned someone from the back. Who was it?
Jeff Cobb.
Yep, Jeff Cobbs. He came out and he'd done this sort of swing and slam move to Moxley, and that's how they ended the show, with a devastating attack onto Moxley again. So yeah, they're putting the odds and stacking the odds against Moxley. Next week, Jeff Cobbs versus Moxley. That would be a quite interesting match. quickly saying about we'll go back to the beginning. Dark Order Exalted One. They keep going on about the Exalted One. I've heard rumours it could be Luke Harper or Brody Lee, as he'd probably be called, and I've heard it could be Matt Hardy. We didn't do a Raw review. We'll touch on a few points in the SmackDown review, but yes, Matt Hardy put out a tweet to say goodbye. Basically, it was like he was saying goodbye to WWE Universe. There was a video on his sort of YouTube channel where it did kind of sort of hint at the Dark Order. The Dark Order have actually responded to his tweet, so it could be Broken Matt Hardy, which I think would be a really good idea. Matt Hardy's quite clever with the wrestling angles and storylines, and if he really let go with the broken storyline like we saw in Impact, it can go anywhere, and especially in AEW, I think it could go to great places, especially if he was like the leader of the Dark Order. Maybe I thought it would be a really good idea. But anyway, that's our AEW review. Again, solid show. Again, a few down moments, a few good moments. I've heard talks about a mid-card title. People want a mid-card title. Cody and the Young Bucks don't want one yet, if they even do want one. I do agree with the fans a little bit, but I do agree with sort of AEW not putting it because it would be saturating with titles. And I understand that the fans want a mid-card because you do have people like Kit Saban and Joey Janela and, you know, Jimmy Havoc and all these people that's just floating in the mid-card that don't have nothing to do. So I do understand from that point of view they do kind of need something to sort of make it worth their time to have a match. But anyway, yep, if you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video, which will be Out the Blue SmackDown Review, which will be Saturday. So I'll say goodbye, and say goodbye, Kai.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.